Hello guys, this is Dr. Dheeraj Masapu. I'm a senior consultant in the field of neuroanesthesiology, and today I would like to cover a very interesting topic. If you really want to settle in towns, okay, or you want to settle in tier 2 or 3 cities, then the game is totally different. Okay, if you're a doctor and if you want to settle there, then the specialties that you need to choose are totally different. For example, I'm a neuroanesthesiologist. If I plan to go to town, it doesn't work out because they don't require such kind of a niche specialist. They require a totally different kind of specialist, and it's a different ballgame which I'm going to explain in this particular video. And if you do these specialties, you will be one of the highest paid people in that particular area. Okay. So before going into the topic, you need to understand, see how the Indian population is changing. I will always, give importance to this because this is what actually demographics will drive the businesses. That is what I believe in. So the Indian population is at present around, 140 crores. In that, why I showed this is, if you can see the split, around 90 crores is located in the towns and villages, and 50 crores is located in the metros, tier 1 and tier 2 cities. So that is like significant population is actually there in like 65 to 70% of population is there in towns and villages. So if you really want to go there, it's not a bad idea, it's a very good idea. And if you are from a particular town, it is better to go to that particular town and start practicing, but you need to do these specialties, okay, to become highly paid there. So before going into what specialties you need to do, first you need to understand how the practice in towns is different from metros. So number one thing is the health infrastructure. Health infrastructure will be totally different. In metros, you have high-end equipments and state-of-the-art technologies, and because hospitals can spend that kind of money because they also charge the patients in that way so that they get the profits. But in towns, you can't do that. You can't get such high equipment. So the equipment that they use will be slightly in the lesser quality. You can't get a crazy. For example, if you want an arm or a brain lab or some robot or all those things, you cannot get. You have to work with basic equipments. So infrastructure-wise, there will be. I don't call it compromise. Only mandatory things will be there. You don't get all the high-end stuff. Healthcare personnel also are pretty different. In cities, you see usually people who are trained in different countries like USA, UK, and all the premium institutes in India, and all the premium institutes of the states like BMC of Bangalore and SMS Jaipur and all bigger hospitals. But in towns, usually what happens is, for example, a medical college is located in that area. Usually the people passing out from those medical colleges will migrate to those particular towns and villages. So usually you don't get premium students, but the type of practitioners will be from people who passed out from those areas, or if somebody is passing from a premium institute and if he belongs to that particular area, he might go to that particular location. Usually it happens like this. So why am I telling this is, you should know whom you're competing with, right? So because it is finally, it will boil down to the skills of the people. For example, if two physicians are there, a more skilled person who can talk well will get more people. So you need to know the capacity of the people you're competing with. So that is why I actually showed this particular slide. I'm not trying to degrade any doctor based on their institutes. And the next important thing that you need to understand is the affordability. The affordability in cities is totally different. If you, for example, if a surgery costs 5 lakhs to 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs, they will have insurance, right? The corporates will have insurance, they will be able to pay. And there are some people who can pay even cash in cities. So, but if you go to towns, the affordability becomes a major important factor. The reason is, in India, how many people are paying tax, Only 1% to 1.5% people are paying. So 98 to 99% are not paying tax. So paying tax means, you can see here, I'll show you. So this is the old income tax rules, because this data is from 2022, that is why I've taken this. See, if you are below 2.5 lakhs, you don't have to pay tax. So 98 to 99% of Indian population is actually earning less than 2.5 lakhs, at least on paper. Maybe some are actually trying to escape that, we don't know, but on paper at least they are not crossing 2.5 lakhs per year. So that is the kind of income that Indians are earning. So the top 1% might be in cities significantly, and they are able to pay all these bigger bills in cities. But in towns, most of them are earning less than 2.5 lakhs. So they won't be able to pay such crazy bills. So your total operating costs in the town should be low, which we'll discuss later. So the affordability will be a problem in town practice. And the second problem that usually you face in towns is the scheme patients. Scheme is like, for example, Andhra Pradesh, you have Arogyasri insurance scheme. In other states, you have Ayushman Bharat Yojana scheme. And in Rajasthan, you have, Bamsha Swasthya Bima Yojana. And there are CGHS schemes for central government employees. And the police officers will have certain schemes, and Awas health insurance, and Aam Aadmi Bima. There's so many schemes are there. So in towns, usually people will come to you and they will ask you to do the surgery within that scheme, which you have to oblige, because if you're not doing, other hospital person will do. So that is another major problem in town and village practice. But in cities, usually they'll have health insurance like HDFC, Ergo Star, Apollo, Munich, Max, and all that. So usually they're covered within that. Even the bigger bills are also covered in that. Usually you'll have a basic insurance and a top up on that. So usually it will be covered. But here in towns, most of the people you need to do within the scheme. In scheme, usually what happens is most of the surgeries will be around 25-30,000. So in cities it will not work, but in town you have to keep your operating costs very low, and you have to do the surgery within that particular cost. That is the challenge. So the challenges in town practice are low operating costs. For example, you are most of the people are scheme patients, right, and unaffordable people. So when you're charging very less, the operating cost should be very low. The operating cost, if you keep low only, then you'll get some profit above that, right? So that is an important thing, and you have to do more numbers there. In cities, actually, we can focus more on quality, and since we charge more for the patient, we can do less number. But in towns, since you're charging less, you have to do more number to get some profit to become highly paid. And sometimes you have to deviate from your specialty. For example, I'm a neuroanesthesiologist. I wouldn't do cardiac anesthesia cases. So we are so niche down in cities. But in towns, what happens is, even if you're a general surgeon, if you get some general medicine case, you might have to see. If you're a nephrologist, some MI patient comes to your casualty, you'll have to see. Because in town practice, what happens is you can't afford to lose any patient to another hospital. Every patient they try to keep in that. So you need to deviate from your specialty. And then easy saturation. It's called rule of 3. It's like, for example, there's a cardiologist in one particular town, and 2 more cardiologists came. That's it. It will get saturated. That is the capacity of that particular town. So that 4th cath lab which is being installed in that particular town will be not running, because already the people are established and saturated. That's it. The town has a capacity to the capacity of the town is that much only. Only 3 cardiologists can survive there. So that is the rule of 3. More than that, for 4, 5, 6, 7, if 10 cardiologists come, there won't be any kind of business for anyone. You have to understand that. So when you're planning to go to town, please inquire how many people are already there. If it is above 3, please go to some other place. Okay. And RMP dominance. RMP is like, they call themselves as registered medical practitioners, but they do not have any kind of degree, but they actually dominate the game in towns and villages. So people actually believe them because they've been there since a long time. Obviously, if one of my known person is actually having some medical knowledge, and if he's telling that that particular doctor is good, I would believe him and go, right, because I see him every day, rather than believing some new doctor who has come from some other city. So they use this particular thing and they dominate the healthcare. They actually refer patients to all the doctors. You have to deal all these things. Local goons also. So in town practice, what happens is, if something goes wrong, there are a set of people who will try to come to you, and then they'll try to attack you. They'll charge some money and go. It will be in lakhs. Political interference also is there. And trust and belief usually will be on extremes actually. Either they trust you to the core, or they don't trust you, and they would always want to go to city they always think that in cities they get better treatment. In towns they feel that the equipment is not good, doctor is not good, or something like that they would be feeling, or they would totally believe you. One of that, they will be on the extremes actually, either this side or that side. So these are differences between a practice of a doctor in town and city. So why I told all these things is, more than specialty, you need to know these things, because before going to town, you need to develop the mindset to play this game. Only then you enter with the specialties which I am going to tell now. Then you will be highest paid. There are evergreen specialities. So if you do these specialities, then it's like evergreen. Any town you can go and settle, which I'll tell in the end of the video. First, let me cover the other specialities. I'll go from head to toe, from top to bottom. Okay. First, we'll start with neuro. So neurology will be in demand, okay, because you will be dealing so many headaches, strokes, and even Alzheimer's, dementia, psychiatry, everything you need to do. You should not confine to only neurology. So you need to work day and night, and neurology will work out surely, but rule of three, more if 2-3 people are there, it will get saturated. But you have to practice a little bit this side, that side. You can't totally confine. A little bit of general medicine also you need to practice. Neurosurgery, if you're only neurosurgeon in that particular town or 2 people, then what you do is you better freelance. Okay, you freelance in all the hospitals initially, build a base of patients, and you can actually go to the nearby city also and practice in some hospitals. That would be a better model than establishing your own clinic. You can make very good money by actually freelancing. Even urology also, I recommend you go to all the hospitals and freelance. Let people set up the hospitals. You don't have the headache of setting up. You go just do consultations and charge people, and you can actually do a very good job. Even cities need neurologists, right? You can go from town to city, and cities will usually be some 40-50 kilometers. You can finish your town rounds and go to city and come back by evening. That is a better way of doing, but you will be highly paid with neurology, neurosurgery and neurology. And ENT and Ophthalm also will have a good scope if few people are there. But the only problem is you can't freelance like how I told for neurology, because nobody will keep a setup for ENT and Ophthalm, right? So you need to make your own setup, and you have to have patience. The moment you make setup, people won't come. So you need to make setup and then conduct local camps, and slowly you have to start building your practice. So some amount of capex will be there, the capital expenditure. So if you have some free cash with you, which you are ready to lose for some, I think, months and years, you need to make your own setup, because the moment you make your setup, you're not going to get money immediately, right? So negative cash flow will be there in the initial period. Later on, slowly, once it picks up, you will settle. But these branches you can do and become highly paid, but give some time. 3 to 4 years it will take. For 6 months to 1 year, you will be in loss. Cardiology and cardiac surgery. Cardiac surgery is outright rejected. You cannot do. It's very tough, because if people have a cardiac problem, they will go to cities nearby, and also most of the people will have a scheme, and in scheme to do, it is better to go to a city nearby. In town it is impossible. So cardiology can be done. As I told, you can do either freelancing or you can make your setup. But the problem is, if you confine only to cardiology, it will be very tough to survive, because how many cardiac patients you will get in a town? So a little bit general medicine and diabetes management and dealing other lung problems. You have to practice like the same thing applies to nephro also. You have to practice like general medicine and then do your core areas. So the core specialty is to actually satisfy your inner soul, but actually you make more money around that. That is how it operates in towns, not by only practicing cardiology, but over a period of 4 or 5 years. When you begin, you have to do like that. 4 or 5 years down the line, if more people are not coming, again, rule of 3 is that if more than 3 people come, it will get saturated. If you are a first or second person, there are high probabilities that you can make your own setup also, and then you can click in that place. You can set up a good cath lab. Okay, you can invest, make a cath lab. Initially, negative cash flow will be there, but eventually it will pick up. But calculate how many cath labs are already there. If there are more than 3, don't set up a cath lab. Okay, but if you badly want to settle in that place only, if you are saying that is my own place, then do freelancing, and initially develop a patient base. Slowly keep an OPD. Once patients start coming, then invest. Directly don't invest into the cath labs if more people are there, because it is risky. These calculations many doctors don't understand, because they don't have financial education. Okay, so directly they'll put off some money and they'll go into negative cash flow, and then they will suffer. Okay. Gastro. Med gastro is ultimate, because see, if you setting up endoscopy or ERCP is not very expensive, so that can be done, and the cost of the procedure also is low. It's less than 10,000. You can do it for 3 to 5,000 also. People will be okay to get it done even without a scheme. So you can do endoscopies, ERCPs, aram se, and earn a very good money. This is a very good specialty. Surgical gastro again is a problem. Okay, if you're okay to practice general surgery also along with surgical gastro work, then even then, not immediately, if a town is already having general surgeons, people in that particular town will believe them only, because I worked in town also. I know there are established general surgeons in the place, so people usually believe them. Even if you do surgical gastro, they will not directly come to you. There will be a gray zone between surgical gastro and general surgery, so it is very tough to compete with them. So initially you have to slowly build your patient base, and then you can invest in a hospital, but don't directly invest. Please, you first develop a patient base and then invest in a hospital. Anesthesia and ICU, no doubt, 100% required, because anesthesia is a kind of specialty. Even in village, requirement is there. So any part of the world you can place anesthesiologist and they will survive. No doubt in that. Even intensive care requirement will be there. Usually anesthesia and intensive care both will be managed by anesthetists only in smaller towns. So you can don't make your own setups. You work for some people and understand how the market is, how many people are there, and then you can collaborate. You collaborate with a neurosurgeon and some gastrosurgeon, and then set up an ICU along with them. Invest in your ICU and OT, and then you can make a good amount of money. Here, radiology also I would like to mention. Radiology is a good specialty for towns. You can make your ultrasound. You can buy your ultrasound, and from beginning only you can set up your ultrasound. Slowly, if cases are picking up, you can invest and make a CT scan also. And if you're extremely successful with CT and ultrasound, you can invest in your MRI also. It will click. Okay, it will click surely, because most of the scheme patients also, all the hospitals would refer to you, and you can do the MRI and send them back to them. They will charge and they will pay for you. It will work out. Radiology and anesthesia, intensive care, all the service sectors will be good even for towns. No doubt in that. Kidney. Nephrology, again the rules are same. 2-3 people a town can take. More than that is difficult. You can establish your dialysis centers. Don't directly establish. Go to first general medicine centers will be there, right? Go and actually help them in setting up dialysis units. Develop some kind of a patient base, and slowly over a period of 4 or 5 years, slowly establish your dialysis centers, because it is not easy to attract patients, because people will not know who is a nephrologist. They will only go to general medicine doctor in towns. He would be actually referring to you. The moment you make a center, it's a threat to them, right? So they will not encourage, they will not send patients to you directly for dialysis. They will want you to go there when they are doing dialysis. So that is how it will be done. So you have to think, be smart, and then slowly, step by step, you have to go. Multiple times I'm telling you, go slow, because many doctors are not understanding and investing and getting stuck because they don't understand business. Urology also will work out if there are 2-3 people. If 7-8 people are there, it will not work out, because most of the times they will go to nearby cities. Orthopedics will work out. Even joint replacements are being done. I know many towns joint replacements are being done. Major surgeries also are being done, because orthopedics, the investment is actually less. You need an CM and a good OT and a good skilled surgeon and a good anesthetist who can give anesthesia for old patients. So it is being done. No issue. Aramsa you can do, but take it slow. And you can set up a good hospital also with orthopedics. No doubt in this. So then let us come to the final evergreen specialities. The evergreen specialty which will click in towns is general medicine. Okay, if you are a general medicine physician, then it is very easy and very safe, because one stool, one chair, and one BP apparatus and step. That is your investment initially, a small OPD. And if you talk well, you will click. If you click, you develop contact with local people and some leaders, and then develop a local influence, and then if you talk nicely and give good results, people will start coming to you. After that, you start referring patients to all other doctors and other bigger centers in other cities. So general medicine is evergreen specialty, and you don't have to specialize also for towns. Just general medicine is enough. Even DNB general medicine you will flourish in towns. So minimal investment, maximum return. That is how you have to calculate. It's not like maximum investment you put and then get less return. So in that way, general medicine is best. Other evergreen specialties are pediatrics and OBG and general surgery also. They also almost similar, but the problem with pediatrics, OBG and general surgery is, already if an established player is there, then everyone will go there only. So that is the problem. For you to establish, it will take time. But general medicine is not that kind of a branch. Even if you keep initially some 4 or 5 people will start coming to you slowly, and then you can quickly build up the practice. So if your plan is to go to town, think about general medicine. Even DNB is fine. Okay. So so this video is actually, see, I stay in cities, right? So if you ask me about corporate, I can tell you, all the ways to grow in corporate and all that. So whatever I spoke till now, the info is collected from all my friends and relatives and many doctors who are situated in different towns. So they all wanted to convey one message to you guys, and strongly they wanted to convey this message. So number one thing they wanted me to tell you is, don't invest in large capex big hospitals, which some doctors are doing, it seems, and getting stuck. They're not able to generate any kind of profits from there. Okay, they're doing good cases, but since their investment is more, they're not able to survive, and they're going into a lot of financial crisis, and they're not coming into public and talking. I'm talking on behalf of all of them. Okay, but this is a message to all the juniors: better go slow and then understand the local market, and then you have to set up. Okay, directly going and making our own hospital won't work out. Towns are not easy, they're tougher than cities. That is what they told. And rule of three you have to follow. So that's it, guys, and hope you understood what specialties you need to do and how to become highest paid in towns. So that's it for today, and next we are doing a very good video on one of my subscriber who has gone to Middle Eastern country, but that video she requested me not to put in a public forum, so we are keeping that for a members only video. So that will be there for my 8 members who are there. You can check out that video which is coming in a few days. Okay, the whole pathway we are going to discuss about how she actually decided, what made her decide to go to Middle East, and then she approached me 1 year back. I gave few suggestions, and then she went to that agency, and then she went there. Okay, I don't have any links with any agencies or anything. I just do because I like to help you guys. That's it. That's all. Okay, that gives me some dopamine hit, and I make enough money in my job only. So all these things I'm doing to just help you guys. Okay, thank you all. Thank you very much for following the video. Thank you all. As usual, Dr. Dheeraj Masapu logging off. Roger that.